Episode 92. Oh really? Chen Guo said, a bit dazed. A phrase suddenly came to his mind. The layman watches for the spectacle, the expert watches for the technique. He'd always considered these glory players to be true experts who could appreciate the finer points. But today, with 11 laps voice ard for Yisio sitting beside her offering a few pointers, Chen Guo suddenly realized they're just half-baked experts who can only name the skills being used. Seems they're still closer to being total amateurs. Chen Guo continued watching, somewhat dazed, her attention already badly scattered. Just as Ye Xiu predicted, Zhao Ji's Starfall sword was completely overwhelmed. So Mo Cheng's dancing rain kept him at a distance, bombarding him relentlessly, forcing him into a purely defensive, passive position. Though he managed to close the distance a few times, Su Mucheng swiftly evaded each attempt, maintaining her range and continuing her relentless assault on Starfall's sword. The relentless bombardment continued, the camera cutting between shots to showcase the pro player's masterful footwork and precise control. The commentators continued their back and forth, lamenting Zhao Ji's repeated failures and cheering for So Mucheng's every brilliant strike. As commentators, they had to remain strictly neutral. While they might privately favor one side, they couldn't let that show during the broadcast. The once snow-blanketed Silverfrost town was now a ruin scarred by the fierce duel. Thick smoke billowed from heavy artillery strikes, and deep gashes from sword energy crisscrossed the landscape. Finally, the two characters for glory surged onto the screen. The director swiftly cut to a close-up of Starfall's sword. The system replay automatically slowed down at this moment, clearly showing that Starfall's sword had been blasted apart by an anti-tank missile. The slow motion replay revealed that what should have been a straight line, 3-shot burst of the anti-tank missile, but So Mucheng executed it, pulling the 3 shells into a slanted triangle.
It's the triple point cannon.
Chen Guo, familiar with the gunner class, recognized this maneuver. The player timed the moment 3 shells left the barrel, swiftly moving the crosshair to spread the 3-round burst at an angle, widening the anti-tank cannon's area of effect. So can you pull it off?
I can't. I can only manage 2 points.
Chen Guo felt a pang of regret. Finally, after a moment's hesitation, he said,
Well, that's pretty tough, isn't it? Little Tang doesn't seem to be up to it either.
His hand speed isn't the issue. The problem is this move requires pinpoint timing between the 3 consecutive anti-tank cannon shots. Without enough experience, you just can't nail it. I see now.
Chen Guo nodded. The broadcast screen had now cut to a close-up of the victor, dancing rain. Then, they began to replay some of the match's most thrilling highlights. The commentators and guest analyst kept up their running commentary as Team Excellent Ara took the first point by winning the opening match of the individual competition. The Glory Pro League matches are divided into 3 parts. The first is the individual competition, where each team fields 3 players for 3-1-on-1 matches, with the winner of each match scoring a point. Each win earns 1 point. The second part is the team competition, where each team fields a 3-player squad in a KOF format. This means the 2 teams take turns sending out fighters, with the loser stepping down to be replaced by another teammate. The match continues until one team has no fighters left to send out. Winning this round earns the team 2 points. The third part is the team competition. Each team fields 6 players, but the actual match is a 5 versus 5 team battle. The 6th player is a special substitute who can be called in for aid. The match continues until one team is completely eliminated, with the winner taking 5 points. The participants for the first and second parts cannot overlap. For example, since Zhao Ji and So Mucheng had already fought in the first one-on-1 match, they could not participate in the second part, the team competition. However, they were eligible to compete again in the third part, the group battle. In total, 10 points are up for grabs in a match like this. The Glory Pro League's standings are determined by these total points. Somacheng struck first for Excellent Era, snatching the opening point from Team 301. Cheers erupted in the happy internet cafe, everyone buzzing with excitement. Amidst the clamor, the highlights of the first match finished playing, and the second individual competition kicked off right away. Team 301 finally didn't waste their home field advantage. Using their superior map knowledge, they seized the initiative at every turn and ultimately secured the victory. This time, no one in the internet cafe could muster a laugh. As the same highlight reel played, the atmosphere was deathly still. As Team Jiaxi lost the third individual match, the faces of the spectators in the internet cafe grew even more grim. Frustration simmered in the crowd. Some cursed Team 301, while others lamented Team Excellent Era's lack of fight. Chen Guo was in a foul mood herself. She glanced to the side. Ye Xiu had slipped away at some point, leaning against the doorframe with a cigarette dangling from his lips. The ember of his cigarette pulsed like a beacon in the gloom, yet his own expression remained shrouded in shadow. After the highlights and commentary from the last match wrapped up, the second round of the team competition finally began. The moment the starting lineup for both sides were displayed, the audience in the Xingxin Internet Cafe perked up with a fresh wave of excitement. Team Jiaxi, the team's ace, finally took the stage. The battle god, One Autumn Leaf, was placed first in the team battle. His opponent, however, was 301's strongest player, their captain Yan Kang's assassin, Scenery Killer. One Autumn Leaf had been the talk of the Glory community for days, and now the name was inevitably brought up again with emphasis. Ye Xiu's name was inevitably brought up, repeated over and over until the match itself was officially underway. Pan Lin and Li Yibo simply couldn't finish their intended topic. There were just too many stories about Ye Qiu and One Autumn Leaf.
Alright, the match has begun. Let's focus on the action. This is Song Shang's first match, representing Excellent Era with One Autumn Leaf. Coach Lai, what's your take?
Pan Lin deftly cut off the previous topic and steered the conversation straight to the match at hand.
In terms of individual skill level, Song Xiang is a step above Yan Kang. As for their characters, Team 301s are all on a similar level. Yan Kang's Wind, Swept Sands and Zhao Ji's Star Sword are roughly on par with each other. But there's simply no match for the battle god, One Autumn Leaf.
We know that One Autumn Leaf is probably the character with the most silver equipment in the Alliance right now.
In terms of sheer quantity, that's correct. However, we all know that the stats of silver equipment are rarely made public. So, judging a character's strength based purely on quantity, without knowing those stats, is a rather inaccurate standard.
You're absolutely right. After all, sometimes the stats on silver equipment are really just on par with orange gear, or even purple or blue equipment. That's entirely possible, isn't it?
That's right. Based on my personal observations this half season, I think characters like Trolling Rain, Desert Dust, and Vacaria, these characters hailed as gods, like Troubling Rain, Desert Dust, and Vacaria, though they may have fewer silver equipment pieces than One Autumn Leaf. Their strength doesn't seem any less formidable. And there's the issue of skill points. Would a character who's become a god really fall that far behind in skill points?
That's true. But regardless, Scenery Killer is definitely a notch below, right?
Of course. But that doesn't automatically spell defeat for Yan Kang. After all, Glory, where victory is never decided by stats on paper alone.
So, what advantages do you think Yan Kang has?